Welcome to the hour. Yet again on a Sunday, I invite you to be part of the experience for 60 minutes, the entire hour. On this program, we're going to look at the plan. What is the plan? The plan. What is the plan? And I'm going to break down that discussion in like three phases: wider Caribbean plan, a plan in terms of the resuscitation for West Indies cricket, and a plan to work around the gray areas, the issues with Dominica's politics. That's the first part of my program. And the second part, I'm going to be looking at aspects of my book, Dame Eugenia Unedited, and I will pinpoint one or two areas I want to expand or expound on. And that should take us towards the end of our program. Unfortunately, I won't do any feature of Asa Banton today because the time does not permit. But in the future, I hope we will be able to give the brother a little plug in terms of the work he continues to do to promote Bouillon and Dominica around the world. And not just Asa selectively, although we highlight him, but in the future as well, we're going to be doing a lot of work with Signal Band and all the other big groups from Dominica. In fact, I would want to probably end with a Signal Band video today, if we can get that done. We will see how that goes. So that is the plan for today's discussion. I'm hoping that you who are going to join will participate by asking questions, by, doing a shout out and having your views counted. Because that's what we do. We love people sharing the views, especially people with dissenting and opposing views. That is the beauty of life, when people can oppose you. Some don't believe that they should be opposed. I think people who feel so really need to rethink, because it is okay if people oppose you and come at you. And when you go back at them, people should not think that you are angry. Why not have a good argument or good debate, and then at the end we shake hands? That's how it's supposed to be. And that's why I live my life. I do not mind challenges, but there are times when I want to challenge the people who challenge me, because that's how we grow, when we challenge each other to do better. So that is it in terms of my program today. I'm going to also join Carlos on Team Unity's Dominica program. And on that program, incidentally, Carlos wants to talk about the plan, TUD's plan. So I suspect there'll be a sort of connection between this and Team Unity's program at 3 o'clock. So you just have 2 hours, guys, to spare with us. That's it. 1 hour with me here and 1 hour for TUD, and that's it for the rest of the week. You do your stuff, we do our stuff, and we meet again on a Sunday. And we do it all over again. Let me pick up my brother, Lofty. Lofty, I got your message. I think you got mine as well. I'll link up with you, bro, but I have had a real rough day, but we will link up. Lofty is a soldier personified, full maximum endorsement for Loftus Durant, for the work that he's doing. He's more towards the advocacy. And I have been telling Lofty Boy, I love the advocacy work that you're doing, but we have to kind of see how we can deal with, a little shift. Because Lofty has what it takes to be a very influential political leader. And when I say leader, not just political party leader, because I'm not even in the party leadership thing as such. I'm talking about leading a charge, leading a new dispensation, leading a new conversation. Lofty has what it takes. And not just because of that, but Lofty is just a genuine brother who knows how to really get his views out. And the important thing about Lofty is that I think he's a patriot. Not every patriot is a patriot. Lofty is a true patriot. And I've spoken with many people, Lofty included, who are patriots, and Lofty is a patriot. I've spoken to other patriots who are not patriots. They are patriots, meaning that they are for the parties. One of those told me when we tried to get them to work together one time was, what he told me that it is about his party, putting his party's business in order before he tried to do other things, suggesting that his party is more important than coming together to save Dominica. And people like that, I would not speak about them publicly. We'll have conversations. I will listen to them. They listen to me, but I still believe in them in some way or the other. I still believe and hope that they want to do well, but it should not be on your time or on your party's time. It should be on the people's time, on Dominica's time. And some people before him and others have been trying to say, guys, it is important that we find a synergy to build coalition, to work together with a plan. Let's put that plan together so we can attract people. You cannot attract people without a plan to attract people. Just speaking the plan or wishing the plan is not making the plan happen. To put a plan together takes hard work. Hard work. And many people who are the so-called patriots that some people worship in Dominica do not care about the people because they do not want to come together in terms of the right attitude to bring a winning coalition together. It is about them and what benefits them. They are not patriots. They are patriots. They are for their parties first. And some of them failed to contest the last election. And the excuse I heard verbatim, and if they challenge me, I'll play their voice back. The excuse was, we will not win, it's not fair. And then when we don't participate, the outside world will not legitimize the Dominican government. That was their reason. Come on. How could that be a reason when you should stand up now more than any other time? So I am expecting them to challenge me. They call me a troublemaker. That's fine. The people who call me a troublemaker, it's okay. When people who I'm fighting for, the real people who really understand what it is, start calling me a troublemaker, when my children and the children, the youth, and other people who know what it is, start calling me a troublemaker, I will start feeling differently. But those people, the few, the couple hundreds of 300, 400, 500, that think that I am a troublemaker, but of course I'm a troublemaker because I'm trying to stir up things in your way. You think that, first of all, I'm interested in power, which I have said over and over and over and over and over again, I am not. Personally, individually, no. Of course, I want things to change for the betterment of our people and our country. I've always said that. I have no desire. If I wanted to, I would have been leader of your party right now. Yes, your party, I would have been your party leader right now if I was interested in power. And don't try me because I will show you how I could be it. Because I can be as vicious as you guys politically if I want to be. I just don't want to be politically vicious. But I have the good thing about me, I have evidence, I have records, I have things in black and white that I can throw on my screen whenever I'm ready. I wouldn't do it now if I don't have to. But if you, those who have been silent and throwing little information under the cover for people to come to try to decapitate me, I want you all to start talking. And you all will talk eventually, when I blaze all you bobo. And I'll put things out there to show how ignorant and how selfish you all are when it comes to the things about Dominica. That's why some see me and some say, oh, Alex wants something. I don't want anything. The people that you protect and you support and you think so want to do something for you, they're the ones who I'm fed up with. After trying for so long to say, guys, let us do that. And they refuse. So I step in to try to do something and they're trying to kill me. So I will stop eventually and they will continue to pussyfoot, to dilly-dally, to waste time. Pala. No way. I think what we're doing is something that is meaningful, and I'll continue to try. And the good thing about me is that no matter what they say about me, I smile, and nothing bothers me. I do not lose sleep over that. I don't lose my appetite. I am not regretful about anything that I've done for Dominica and our people. Nothing whatsoever. And the set of people that are against me, I am happy that you are. It really tells me that I'm really doing something good. If those of you who castigate me for the reasons that I know you castigated me for, hallelujah. When you stop castigating me, I'll feel bad. But go ahead and castigate me. The more you do is the better. Because I know I am on the right track when some in the politics, and I can call the names, of those Gondi that think that they are God's gift to politics in Dominica, that nobody else must talk but them. Those crooks that sold Dominica out and now trying to fix it. You sell out already, just check your sin. Let some other people with ideas do what they have to do. So you are pal rep, you are deputy speaker, all of a sudden you want to come and say you are the only one who knows, and everybody who talks, you criticize them. Man, I have the simple answers for them, But I do not take on people that way. I want to build. I want to work with you. So don't kill me. You don't build by killing and destroying. You build by embracing and exchanging ideas and working together. That's what Dominica needs right now more than any other thing. But what they're contented to do is to kill me, take me out of the game so that they would flourish. In which book? In which book? It's not going to happen. So today I'm going to present on the plan. What is the plan? The plan. What is the plan? And then I will spend some time on my book. Being criticized by one person I see already before they read the book, and probably what I'm saying in the book is exactly what they're saying. There's so much information in that book that I will every now and then give it a little bit, but I want you to purchase the book, guys. Get it, earn it, own it. My wonderful friend Angela, I love you. Thank you. You're my family and everything. My comrade, you are dead red, heavy red. And I love you more because you are dead red. And when I say dead, I don't mean negative. I mean real supportive of your movement, of your party. And I respect Angie. That's my girl. No issues with her. I can eat and drink and wine as I have done with her. Nothing will stop me from being friends to labor rights. Nothing. And her husband, Dixon, I call him my co-boss. So close we are, me and Angie. Angie's my family, my blood. But I call him my co-boss. That's my buddy. I have no enemies when it comes to the politics and to our country. No one can cause me to be anybody's enemy. And I do not support the Labour Party necessarily. So what? And my dear, wonderful friend and comrade sent me a picture, a proud picture of she having purchased my book. That is people I can take on. When Angie started telling me, Alex, I'll say, okay, Angie. Because Angie, the former teacher too, I remember when Angie was teaching, boy, Angie came there. Angie must have been about maybe 15. Too young. Maybe a little older, but not much more than 16, 18. Maybe 18, Angie. Too young, Angie, but you couldn't teach big boys. I mean, anyway, leave that alone. When teacher Angie, start telling me, oh, Alex, something, maybe you should just. I will take a break. But Angie is, I'm sure, pleased of my messaging. Angie believes in a democracy. People should speak, but people should speak with respect. People should try to build together. Papu detrimun, not for kill nigger and try to go up a nigger. No, that's not how you grow up. That's not how you build. That's not how you progress. That's not how I was taught to do it. So I'm not going to do it that way. I want everybody to grow as much as possible. I have no issue with any party, but I think if you have been there doing the same damn thing for so long and you're not making progress, somebody else should step up. Somebody else should step up. And that is what I have done. That's what Carlos has advised me to do, and I respect and trust him. People like Erwin, that's a phenomenal brother. Erwin is a major, very quiet, very subtle, but he's a man that believes in me, never doubts me. We have all the differences, but Erwin understands, and we go way back. When Erwin started telling me, boy, Alex, boy, I will feel away. But for now, I don't care what you say about me. I'm going to fight for my country. For all this, it's written in our pledgery and in our national anthem that we should bring our hearts and minds together. And you can tell me I must divide myself from you because, well, probably if I did that in the beginning, it's because you wasn't listening. And now that I am gone, let us find a way. That is probably my way to say, guys, and let's do it. So I must just sit down there and just take it from you. You're not doing anything progressive. I must sit down there and wait until you're ready. In which book? You make me then. You're my boss. Who died make you king of me? So anybody can do whatever they would like to do. If it's unity, if it's strength, it is growth, let's do it. I'm not calling for it anymore. Unity will happen when it has to happen. And it will happen with people who want unity. And I want it, so it will happen with me. So Mafudo Zoifel want to talk about the unity and the lip service and behind the scenes, only keeping people out. Selective unity, selective inclusion. Call me a troublemaker, much as you all want. I am very honored. That's a title I gladly receive from those of you who think I'm making trouble, because I'm making trouble for you and your interest. I don't care with you all about your interest and your selfishness. I care about Dominican people's plight. You think Dominicans really worry about reform? You think you go to anywhere now in a country and ask the people what is your major priority, right? They're going to say electoral reform. Which people? A few. The majority of Dominicans now want to know how they're going to feed their children tomorrow, how they're going to get a job to make a money to buy this stuff for the children, to go back to school after summer, to send their children to study, to take care of the medical things. This is what Dominicans thinking about now. Yeah, reform is important for parties, and yes, for the democracy and everything else. Dominicans understand that as well. But that's not the crucial emergency at hand. So yes, parties are important. Parties must work to try to make things better for people. But the people right now are not balling reform. Although I support reform 100%. I think I was one of the first to call for it. And it doesn't matter who is first or who is second or third. At least those of you who taking it now, respect those of us who started doing it before. Don't come and say, okay, that is what we're going to do, when it's a thing that we talk about. And now you're doing it, it's like, it's you that doing it. No, I don't mind that. And I'm going to speak on that program with Carlos, and I'm going to speak a little bit about my legacy and legacies that have been stolen away from me generally. And I just sit down there being nice guy, being Mr. Nice Guy, and just letting it go. Oh, Troy, check Carlos and I from 3 o'clock on the Real Politics program, and you will hear some disclosures. Enough, man. People are taking what you have and just people are brandishing your name. No, man. Sometimes you have to fight back. And I'm telling you, I might get very hot on that program at 3 o'clock. So guys, tune in on the Team Unity's social media page. But on this program, I want to offer certain things to the children, to the young people, in terms of where we can go, what I think we should do. And I will do the same thing as well with the program on Team Unity. But you know, I like to separate my message. And this one is for a different kind of audience. And when we talk some harder politics later, I will deal with the harder politics later. All right, I think I went on for like 15 minutes. Woo, what a warm-up, boy. I've got much more time to talk, Nagasa. I'm almost done with 40 minutes again, boy. I'll have to ask for a delay of the start of the TUD program, man, Carlos. Where's Carlos now? Carlos, what you say? All right. So guys, again, you see me, I'm talking firm and strong, but I'm not angry. No, my blood pressure, it should be at least a 118/79 right now. Thank to the Creator. My blood pressure is normal. Everything is normal with me. I don't get angry. I don't get upset about things. I am very convicted. I'm very convinced about the things that I'm convicted about, that I'm convinced about. Sorry. We're convicted coming in. I have not been convicted of anything. I have a conviction, very strong conviction. That's what I want to say. But I don't get angry, man. I don't get angry. I spoke of my family and friend, Angie. As a labor right, I have so many labor right friends that are calling me, talking to me every day, every other day, and I calling them too. Nothing wrong in being with people, being nice to people. When my labor rights suffer, I suffer too. Anyway, enough of that. Tune on to the TUD program with Carlos and I. We'll talk more about that. All right, so let's begin in terms of the plan for the Caribbean with the Federation. And oh, some of you are going to say, well, what is that? What is Alex talking about, Federation? Well, yes, there was a West Indies Federation, or a Federation of the West Indies, which was attempted in 1958. This was a coming together of Caribbean countries under the guidance of the monarchy, which was a problem, I think. Again, that's my opinion. Because anytime you have the monarchy heading a movement for former colonies, that's a problem. But some other historians may have a different view, because I think unity was good. So the West Indies Federation was a grouping of all the Caribbean countries into one, whereby they would have a sort of common agreement on the common political order with certain standard things. And there was to have been a headquarters for the Federation. Some believe there was a problem between two major countries. They were fighting over the chairmanship of the Federation. I'm not going to get into those little politics, but I want to talk about the bigger picture of the Federation. It was meant to bring the Caribbean together, to have some common understanding. And those of you who have not heard of the Federation, Google the West Indies Federation or the Federation of the West Indies and read. Read people. Don't let people tell you that Alex is a bad person. Read what Alex have said. Listen to Alex's conversation. When they tell you Alex is, and you know Alex for 20, 30 years, and you know Alex is not, and you're just buying into what they tell you Alex is, that's a problem. So go check the idea of the Federation and see what it was. And because of the insularity and the differences between countries, Jamaica was the main culprit, I think, which decided, there were 10 countries deciding to come together. And Jamaica said, well, I'm not getting involved. I'm going to move away. And Jamaica had a referendum, and the people tell Jamaica to get out of the Federation. So when Jamaica move out, they say 1 from 10 leaves 0, because Jamaica was 1 out of 10 countries. And when Jamaica pulled out, the Federation collapsed in 1962. So we missed an opportunity right on the thrust of when most of the countries got independence just after the Second World War, when the Caribbean was building itself, to come together. I didn't like the idea that the monarchy brought us together, but at least it was a good start. We could have used it, embraced it, do it, and then expel the monarchy and have real unity without the colonial crown hovering over the Federation. If that was the plan, I do not mind. Because right now we have the Commonwealth, and the crown is still the top of the Commonwealth. So they might have still been the top of the Federation if we had the Federation. So maybe it is a good and bad that the Federation collapsed. I do not know. So we missed the boat in the 1950s with the Federation of the West Indies. And there was a boat, called the Federation. There were 2 of them, I think. Guys, do your little reading, guys. Please, man. Research. My producer, who is a young guy, is making he is Akuma with this thing called the Federation of the West Indies. And right there, guys, we had a plan to bring the Caribbean together, the West Indies together, and we failed. Because one country, Jamaica, felt we should go to independence, or they felt that Federation will give us independence. So we can look at Jamaica's rule and see whether it was positive or negative or progressive or not. I think it was progressive, No matter even if it collapsed the Federation, but something happened. Because I think Jamaica got independence right after that, and a few other countries got independence, Barbados and so on. So we missed the boat to bring the Caribbean together. We declare independence and we say we are free countries, sovereign states, in a very small, tight-knit group of countries. That was mistake number 1. Then we formed CARICOM. 1973, almost 20 years after the failure of the West Indies Federation. And CARICOM is interesting. CARICOM brings a number of countries together under one sort of arrangement. But what has CARICOM done since the Treaty of Chaguaramas? Meaningful in terms of forging integration. Now, I wrote. Well, I have not written. Let me not say too much about it because somebody might steal it. But I have been doing some work in terms of the focus in the Caribbean. Is it about integration? And is it based on law? Or is it integration by the terms of the people? When you try to integrate by trying to put laws in place, you have a problem. Naturally, there should be fluidity between people. And we should feel as if we are in Dominica when we're in St. Lucia, same in Trinidad and Guyana. But that was never created by the heads of those countries because of their swollen heads and the way in which they see the region as independent little countries. You have to give up some of your sovereignty for CARICOM to work. And no leader wants to do it. In fact, the leaders who lead the Caribbean those days are a set of leaders who lead based in their own design. At least those who try to put the Federation together, my brother Lee Bland, others, they had an idea to kind of work, unite, merge. Those groups, this present group since 1970s. I mean, we had one prime minister in Antigua. He stayed in for how many years? We have one in Dominica now for 20-something years. These guys are not interested in working about a matrix to work to fix the Caribbean. They want to fix themselves. Look at the Antigua Prime Minister. He's going on 3 terms now. You think he wants to demit office? So the CARICOM should come together and reorganize the treaty and put term limits on all of you. But they're not going to do that. So the entire CARICOM should start a term limiting and standard fixed election. And prime ministers of the Caribbean countries should be governors. And there should be one prime minister elected as president of CAO. Do that. You think Mia Mottley is going to agree with that? She maybe should. Gonzalez, Mr. Mitchell of Grenada, no, they're not going to do that. They want to be the king of their little piece of rock. But you can be the governor and still be king. The governor of Florida is a big man. Just change your term, man. You can have the same cabinet of governors and everything else. But if we really want to move the Caribbean together, that should be the plan. Those little stereotypical sort of closed off but still open at the same time tendencies, the insularities that exist, not just in the Caribbean as politics, but through our cricket and other agencies. And I'm going to go to cricket next after I talk about CARICOM. But the plan should be to do something sustainable like the EU, like the United States of America, and them other major regions. They put things in place to solidify their regions. And we didn't have to do it. We don't only have to do it for the CARICOM, for the Caribbean. We can do it for Latin America and the Caribbean in its true sense. Bring our sisters and brothers on the mainland, southern American mainland together with us. And let's make ourselves into a powerful force, including Brazil, you know, that would lead the world. It can happen. But people want to be comfortable and selfishly predisposed in their own little space, making a few $1 million a year. That, and you can make billions and trillions of dollars when we decide to come with a plan to work together. So I'm not criticizing the leaders, you know, I'm just saying probably our vision should be broadened. And probably they're thinking about it. Probably I'm just not hearing them. But I don't think they have the propensity to want to do that, honestly. Probably if it had been me too, I might have been the same. But as someone who's thinking on the outside, someone who has made it my duty to understand the identities of our Caribbean politics and how the international world works and how politics is that process that makes it all happen, I think we can do better. And I know there are other people, scholars and others who are saying the same thing I'm saying, but the leaders are not going to listen to us like that. They might get angry at the things we are saying. But that, I think, should be the plan to advance. So I spoke about the Federation and how it failed because there was a plan, but who was the Grand Marshal of the plan? Was it England? Or was it us? And then if it was us, why did we not fight it, work it out? Why did Jamaica really have to leave? Couldn't there have been some concessions made? So we look at 2 prongs already. And the third one is West Indies cricket. So we're obviously going through too long a lull. Since 1994, by my check, was the last time West Indies was really dominating. West Indies dominated cricket for like 20 years. From the 70s, from 73, 74, 75, we won 2 World Cups, one in 75, one in 79, back to back. Inaugural 75, and we won it again in 79. And we won every test series. We won an 80-something test winning streak. We were phenomenal. But what we didn't do is that we did not think ahead. We did not prepare 2 generations of cricketers ahead because we believed Clive Lloyd and Viv Richards and those guys would live forever and they would play forever. But when these guys left, a void was created. We had Ambrose and Walsh and others. But they did what they had to do. But there is still a huge void because we did not improve. We did not put things in place for the future growth of West Indies. How is the current West Indies board thinking now in terms of development of cricket? Maybe 5 years down the line, I do not know what they're thinking. I wish we could have a conversation, and I will. I will attempt to have a conversation because we all have to come together to save our cricket. And cricket is big money. Sports is huge money. India is making so much money on cricket. Why can't we make twice as much? And our brand of cricket can be more exciting than India's brand of cricket, Australia's brand, England's brand. We play calypso cricket. We should be making the most money in cricket in the world. We should have dozens and dozens and dozens of quick bowlers right now and spinners and batters. We should be dominating the cricket leagues around the world. So I'm not criticizing, I'm just talking about the plan. And the plan does not begin with the politicians. If you go to the politicians for the plan, like I hear certain prime minister suggesting, we're in trouble. Because the plan will involve something about them being glorified and win. Why the heck must our prime minister always have to have an interview during the halftime of cricket in Dominica? Why can't anybody else? The Minister for Culture, the Queen, the Calypso King, somebody. Why must it always be you? So when you get so heavily involved in planning, you will even be giving commentaries too. I mean, I'm not saying that if there's a prime minister cricketer who you know, I don't mind. And I even when a prime minister have a conversation too, I don't mind. But why always you? So the problem in our cricket is not our cricketers. Our guys are playing well. They're trying their best. They let us down too many times. Like in Dominica, when they had won the toss. I mean, how can you win a toss like that and go and bat? You should say, insert India would have had 2 drawn test match. Because India was going to bat for 2 days in Dominica and would have come back and bat for 2 days. And there was not enough time to end the test match. Would end up looking better. And Dominicans would have had 5 days to watch cricket. You would have make more money. Because Dominica is the venue in the Caribbean that I think is the most alive venue for making money in cricket. I'm seeing the T20s being played. People are there, but not. Can you imagine if we had a T20 in Dominica? Sold out. So I think they sometimes cheat us with some decisions that they make, but the guys are actually trying. The problem is they're not existing in a vacuum. The entire issue of the Caribbean is suppressing them. And the Caribbean is not breathing because you know who have the Caribbean? The leaders, the politicians, the selfish politicians. Now I'm saying that, and I know you're going to be angry at me, but so what? If you're angry at me and you don't give me an opportunity that I should get, it's okay. I have not gotten opportunities almost all my life. So I'm not dependent on a politician to make it happen for me. And if I'm qualified to get it, you should give it to me anyway. But I'm not holding my breath. For instance, I was the first, I think, if not the first media coordinator of the World Crane Music Festival. I have a letter to show. I was very involved. Was it the first? I was about the first. But I have been unceremoniously dismissed from hosting the festival and being involved in the festival for the better part of 20 years. Since a group of people took over and they realized maybe I do support them. Oops. Doesn't really matter to me. Let one set make the money now. Let me see if they can go to their grave with it. And I'm seeing them getting the money every year. They're not looking any better. They're getting haggard and older. And it's not like the money is doing them anything. I don't even care too much about the money. I want to be able to contribute. Can you imagine me hosting the World Crane Music Festival? The kind of pride I'll put in. You think I'm going to use that stage to go and say things about my country? I have never said bad things about Dominica. You cut in my neck because you don't like my politics. One of the strongest voices in terms of entertainment in Dominica. I can speak English, Creole, Patois, French. I mean, and you just take me out because you don't like my politics. And people must say I should not talk. No, man, that's not how you do business. So the plan is to bring all together, use all the resources and the talent. Let's revisit the failure of the Federation. Let's look at what CARICOM is doing. CARICOM is a paper tiger. It looks good on paper, but the leaders do not allow CARICOM to do what CARICOM has to do. And the CARICOM Secretariat and the people who work in CARICOM, I know they want to do stuff. But do they get to do the stuff they want to do? I don't think so. So we have to free up CARICOM, let CARICOM breathe, and let CARICOM work for the Caribbean people. If CARICOM was working for the people, there is no way a ticket to go to Dominica in August would be $5,000, return ticket, $4,000. No, CARICOM is not working for the people, it's working for the leaders. What happened? Yes, inflation went up, but all of a sudden, $4,000 to go to Dominica? So the plan is to try to find solutions, not to criticize people. And politicians, stay away from things that you don't involve, that you should not be involved in. Stay away from our cricket. Let the WICBC and its private sector interests work for cricket, not you all. And I have plans that I would like to discuss with the WICBC or Cricket West Indies, sorry. And I'll be very happy to do so. I said, I'm going to try to see if I can get through them through Darren Sammy, who is the coach. We need to have a sit down. I have ideas, let's talk. And if at the end of the day my ideas is something you want to work with, let's work with it. If you don't want to work with it, that's fine. So I think the plan is in presenting things that people can see that can make a difference to their lives. And that is it in terms of the plan. Dominica is another case in terms of the political plan. I will leave that part of the discussion for 3 o'clock when I join Carlos in terms of a plan to try to address Dominica's problem. So let's deal with that at 3 o'clock, okay, guys? Because I want to get into discussing some aspect of my book, Dame Eugenia Unedited. Allow me to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 10, talking a little bit about this book. So last Sunday, we spoke about how the book came about, and I gave credit to the key people who contributed to the success of the book. So from this Sunday and every Sunday thereafter, I'm going to promote the book. And not just here, but on other programs as well. So the book Dame Eugenia Unedited came about. And it's very ironic, some people call themselves freedomites, let me leave that for the next program. Because I cannot understand people who, anyway, next program. Dame Eugenia was the founder and leader of the Freedom Party. And I was blessed to have had an interview with her in 1999. And I have had the interview there since. And I have announced it, I have spoken about it. Not one Freedom Party leader, none in a quarter century has ever approached me and say, okay, what's the project? Probably the party could work with you to do something about it. None. The book has been released and not one Freedom Party leader, past or present, have said, okay, I was told you did some work on it. I mean, how can you really be serious? How can you really be serious if that is how you're going to roll? Don't you want to know what's in there? Don't you want to have a conversation about it? That's what I would do if I was a Freedom Party leader or some person in the Freedom Party. I would want to partner with me if I were you. Have a joint conference where we can talk about the great Dame Eugenia and already more who say awake on politics. And you have any foresight or vision of trying to rekindle the growth of this thing that Eugenia worked so hard for. So the book has been presented. It's on Amazon and people are purchasing the book as we speak. And it's a good thing that people are buying the book because proceeds from that book will go towards giving assistance to people who want to study politics or law. Kimara Ito, my wonderful friend at DBS, just graduated with a bachelor's political science. And I respect her as an academic, and I'm pledging publicly, Kimara, to mentor you, to work with you, if you want me to mentor you too, because I know you came to me about certain things in the beginning, and I know of your work and you had a wonderful thesis and stuff like that. So Kimara, congratulations. But if you would like, I wouldn't mind mentoring you and helping you and showing you the ropes. Because you can become somebody very formidable in Caribbean politics, and I would like it for you. So let's work together. The point I'm making is people must learn to embrace opportunities to work with things. Macab, I'm not begging you to work with me, anybody. But I'm saying, man, if you're really serious about politics, you have to see what is glaring and say, well, okay, that is something I need to. Because that's what the Prime Minister does, Say what you want about him. He knows what to do and how to do. The other day, I heard he say that he's the leader of the Freedom Party. And that's not the first time he said that. And the Prime Minister is not 100% all that off with what he's saying. But some might say, oh, Alex again, saying that, no, I'm not agreeing with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is a smart man. And he knows that he is influential as a freedomite himself. And he knows the base of support that he has right now comes from freedom. So to say that is just to give them more excitement, to give them more belief that they are doing something that they should continue to do. So continue to support him. The prime minister knows how he plays his politics. So no, I'm not agreeing that he's the leader, because it's obvious that Bernard is the leader. Bernardito, my wonderful friend. But the prime minister knows what he's doing to stoke excitement among the Freedom Party base that has made him so strong. It's not Labour that's in power in Dominica, not Freedom either. It is Labour, a mix. Power is a grouping of individuals deciding to work things out. And that's what's happening. So Labour has not been in power in Dominica since 1979, May 29, 1979, as a party. Now, there are elements of Labour in power. The name Labour is branding the power, but that is not Labour. So my book on Dame Eugenia captures all of that and more. It also captures Dame Eugenia's legacy. What I think a legacy is and isn't, because almost everybody is a legend now. In the book, I'm dealing with that. And I made the argument by bringing in the picture of Gordon Henderson, who I have long studied as well, and who I may eventually write an expose about. And I hope Wadix do one on him as well, and everybody go. Wadix, by the way, fantastic job. Continue pushing, Wadix. Continue going. So my argument in terms of the legacy of the Dame is in the book. Guys, read the book and critique it, review it. One media house so far that has called me about the release of the book is MO. That's why I keep on saying MO is the biggest news network in Dominica. No other seems remotely interested in a book on Dame Mary Eugenia Charles. I'm not saying that you guys should rush to me, but I have to speak based on the things that I'm experiencing. So MO, thank you. Not MO that come to me, some staff of MO, the big person, MO herself, she just give directives. And MO, your staff was in contact, very professional, and I exchanged some information. And thank you for seeking at least to publish and to put information out there. MO News. So MO, have your staff do analysis or critique. Critique me. Everything that you think. Ask questions, do a follow-up. Let us have engagements. That is how we grow. I can't engage myself with the book. You have to engage me, challenge me. But before some of them read it, one of them, they're already giving a review of it, and you don't read it as yet. And what I'm seeing they're saying is exactly probably what I'm saying in the book in a different way. So guys, the book is not for me and about me. It's about the work of our former beloved Prime Minister. Get a copy on Amazon. We're going to share a link. And in fact, one of my friends, I spoke about her earlier on, Angie, she bought a book and she sent me a picture. Angie, I was going to publish the picture. I mean, that was just too easy. Angie, that was just too easy. Because one, you're pretty. Two, you're pretty. Three, you're good looking. Four, you are very good looking. And you're selling this book for me, Angie. I hope you don't mind, but I have to use you. And you must be saying, oh my word, look at what Alex did to me. I didn't do my hair. Angie, you look fine. You're beautiful. I'm sorry I had to expose you like that, but I couldn't resist the temptation, Angie, because I know you're going to sell a couple more books for me. So that's my girl. And I got this fresh from the press. And Angie, you have shared stuff with me. I didn't share it publicly. So don't think I'm going to be sharing everything now. Keep sending stuff, okay? So guys, get a copy of the book. You're not doing me a disservice if you don't buy it. You're doing yourself a disservice. And in fact, this book was written for the next generation, So if those of you choose not to read it and not to buy it, it's fine. It is written already anyway. It's part of my legacy. And my children and their children will read it and say, Daddy and Grandpa actually wrote that 30 years ago. Wow. So it is now part of the historical landmass of our country. I'm not boasting. I'm just pleased that it is there. And I'm asking you, media people, I implore you, please, have a read. Ask questions, critique it, review it, put the information out there. That's the only way we're going to grow as a country, when we share our ideas and our knowledge. Political agency is lacking among the populace, and it calls on the media to do so. So I'm really challenging, hoping that the media grabs it, do something about it. Do not selfishly leave it for me alone to promote. There's no way I can promote a book about the name, me alone. I need your help. I see you as partners in the effort. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a better week for the media, where the media is concerned. And anybody who does blog or vlog or whatever, Mr. Licks and these guys, come on, let's engage. What's wrong in engaging with the work? I know you guys have your own political leaning and you're trying to do things that will favor your leanings. I know that. But what is wrong in being magnanimous, in sharing the love? Viva Mambo, I must give you props. And I have to be totally honest. I shared the link with Viva before anybody else, after Gordon and Viva. Because Viva is making an effort. Incognito as much as he or she is, but Viva is making an effort to advance the knowledge. So Viva, take a bow. And thank you for purchasing the book and for sharing. I would not share your picture because I don't have your picture anyway. But you purchased the book. I think a Kindle version, and the book is available in Kindle. It's available in paperback. It's available in hardcover. It's available in audio. So there is the audio version of the book that you can purchase very soon. I know my editor. I should call him more than that. The producer of it all, Sam, an amazing brother from TDN Radio. Sam, you're an amazing guy. You have done it. I mean, I do not know what to say. I don't want to get emotional, but you know how I feel about you. And I know you're putting the final bits and pieces together on the audiobook that should be available soon. Take your time, no rush. So there are 4 versions of the book, or 5. And that is going to be for the rest of my life, and maybe after my life, That's not going to go away, guys. The work is done. So get a copy and let us kind of agree to disagree on things that I wrote and move on, because the other book is coming very shortly, That is just the first book in the series of Dominica Political Legacy Series, Political Leadership Legacy Series. And this is our 10-year project that begins this year in August, and it goes until 2033 August. So within those 10-year span, it is my hope, God willing, that I'll be able to be around and produce the books I set to produce. I've interviewed every Prime Minister of Dominica except our current Prime Minister. For somehow, I just have not been able to get the interview down. But I would like to talk to him for his book. In fact, he's going to be the last book I'm going to write in this series anyway, so we have time. Probably he might be in office still by the time his book is there, or probably he might be gone out of office. Whatever the case is, I am going to feature him as well in the 6th book of the series. The 2nd book is going to be Patrick John. And it's not going to be long again before the book on Patrick John comes out. And it's not going to be a question and answer like the Dame Eugenia book in great parts. It's going to be real content. Yes, some direct quotes from Patrick, but some big analysis. And after that, we're going to do a book on Mr. James, Edison James. I spoke about that the last time. And then we have one on Iole Blanc. I interviewed Iole Blanc on tape. When people could not get a recorded interview, he gave me one. I have a story about what happened to the tape after I came out of the interview. But that's for some other time. We're going to do one on Rousey and Pierrot together. The title is In Between Death. And then one on the Honorable Prime Minister current. Roosevelt Skerrit, 6 in a row. That's the title of that book. All the books have been formatted, titled, and I've started writing each and every book, introductions and so on, and preface. Patrick John's book is almost finished. So that is my plan, God willing, for the next 10 years, to make a contribution to Dominica's politics. That's my contribution. I don't want to be Prime Minister. I want the Carlos or somebody else, Bernardito or one of them, not me. Lofty, somebody. I don't mind being part of the team that is going to be the next government in some ways. But it's not about me. My work, I know where I come into the picture. I want to produce work so that the next generations can have work to read, to reference. I'm not a selfish guy. If I was a selfish guy, I would be the leader of the UWP now. Or I would have fight for it maybe and maybe become it. Or any other party. Well, not Labour, because I don't think, well, it's not Labour in power anyway, but not the majority party because the Prime Minister is still there. But if I wanted, I would have fight and try and get into freedom. I know I am not interested in the politics that way. And those people who are peddling that must stop it. My work is in academia. I want to do what I can do for my people. And yes, we should change the government. Not by war or protest or things, but by the ballot. That party in power can be taken out of office if the challengers do what is right. And on this wonderful note, I want to end and tell you, listen to the TUD program at 3 o'clock in about 7 minutes time, and you will hear about the plan. I'm going to join Carlos, and I think I'm going to be on fire. I honestly think so. Warning, hot debates coming up. And Carlos better not try to stop me, because I'm in a mood. I watched Tad do a live yesterday, and Tad has inspired me. Thaddeus, my boy, fire. And Lofty too had a big program as well. These messengers are amazing. Our job is to bring the message together, and that is where TUD comes in. I heard Bernard too. Bernard will share with Lofty talking about somebody to unite and the people. Oh my God, Lofty. That was a big program. Oh, we're going to have some things to say about that on that program coming up with Carlos. Team Unity's leader, whoever else Carlos brings on the program, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I just want to go there and contribute my hour to TUD, and it's going to be a big political hour coming up. All right, I'm done with my feature. I'm not too sure whether there's any message, any quick, urgent inquiry that anybody ask of me. But if there is one, I will check it out. Let me see quickly. Mr. Producer, Madam Producer, do we have anything? Let me have a quick look. I'm asking. I just want to see whether there's any quick message so I can. Oh, oh boy, quite a lot of comments. Yes, I can grab one quickly. Sam, you know, always come to you. Remember politicians from Liat for over 60 years? Where is it now? I think we recognize this absolute failure. We'll see what needs to be done. Thank you. I should have mentioned Liat. And we have lost Liat, sadly, because of the politicians. And now they want to talk about cricket and Prime Ministerial Committee on cricket. Stay away from our cricket, man. Stay away from our cricket. So thank you, Sam. There are quite a few messages, man. Shara says, my teacher was MO News. Shara says, this is so exciting, Alex Bruno. Shara continues to speak. Oh my God, Shara, you're on a roll. Thank you so much for sharing. But I have to end because I really want to give some time to Carlos to join his program. Guys, all of you, and we have quite a few people on that live, just switch to Team Unity Dominica, the Facebook page. It's going to be on my page as well here as well. But check it out because we're going to have a very big bumper hour coming up that Carlos has called The Plan. You do not want to miss it. So thanks for choosing to be here with me today. I'm really excited. Let me just see if I can have maybe a look at one more comment. There are quite a lot of comments. One more quick comment. And hold on. Somehow my producer has not seen the comments. And you know, I'm a little green hand already. I'm a novice. I mean, I can leave that alone. But guys, those of you who wrote, I will eventually get to those comments in time and probably give an answer if I think an answer is warranted. But thanks for being here. Please get the book. I'm not too sure the way we can share the link for the book. If we cannot share it on the live, we will share it in the message click the link, get a book, get a Kindle. You can start reading the book right away. I think it's about $12 for it on Kindle. You cannot go wrong. Or if you want a hard copy, order a hard copy as well. But I'm looking forward to you purchasing the book, and please send me pictures of your purchase when it arrives and write reviews so we could post on the site so people could see what you think of the book. Thank you guys. I'll see you next week Sunday on this program, and I'll see you in about 3 minutes on Team Unity's Dominica Roundtable. Cheers.